going to be baking up a cake today. Now what I'm going to be making is a blueberry cake, and we're going to put a frosting on top, dress it up at the end with some more blueberries. So I'm going to make a really nice blueberry cake. It's a very easy recipe, very simple to do, and it's always delicious when you make them. So you've got to give this a go. Now you could do the same recipes, but instead of blueberries, you could use raspberries instead. So up to you. Now, what I'm going to do first of all is go through the ingredients, and then we're going to mix it all up, get it in the oven and make it look pretty. So to make up this cake, I just want to go through the ingredients I'm going to use. Now I've got some butter. I've got soft butter, so it's at room temperature, 175 grams. Then 175 grams of caster sugar, 225 grams of self-raising flour, which we'll need to sieve, 4 tablespoons, that's the bigger spoon, of soured cream. Then you've got baking powder here, 1 teaspoon, that's a very small spoon for your cups of tea, 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract, 3 eggs, and then I've got my blueberries. I've probably got about 150, 160 grams of blueberries, but as I say, you could use raspberries as an alternative. So there's all the ingredients for making up the cake. Now I'm just going to go through the rest of the ingredients we're going to use to make up the frosting on top of the cake. So for making this frosting that we're going to put on top of the cake once the cake's cooled down, what you're going to need is 200 grams of Philadelphia cheese, 100 grams of icing sugar, 4 tablespoons, again same amount as we put in the cake, of the soured cream, so 4 tablespoons of that, and then I've just got a handful, probably about 150 grams, again the same, of blueberries. So there's all the ingredients for the cake and the frosting, and now what I'm going to do is get myself a bowl and start making up this cake mixture. So I've got myself a bowl and I've got all the ingredients around it, so it's, you know, it's all at hand, makes it nice and easy. Now what I'm going to do first of all is put the butter in the bowl. Now remember, my butter is at room temperature because that makes it much easier to kind of blend up, sort of beat up with the sugar and, you know, get it all mixed together. If you got it straight out the fridge, what you probably need to do is to put it in the microwave for about 15 seconds just to soften it a little bit. So we've got the butter in there. Now what I'm going to do is add the caster sugar. Now I'm a little bit lazy, so I'm going to use my electric mixer, kind of beat it all together, but you can do it by hand. So if you haven't got an electric mixer, don't worry, do it by hand and just beat it up so it's all whipped together, and then we're going to add the eggs. That'll do. So now I've got the butter and the caster sugar all in the bowl, mixed up. Now what you want to do is to add in the eggs. Now I've put my eggs into individual bowls so that I can just tip 1 egg in at a time. That way, you know, you get a really nice cake mixture. Now also, putting them in the bowls means you don't get any eggshell in the mix because you can always pull it out. So get your eggs, put them in a bowl and add them in 1 at a time. Got the 3 eggs in there. Let's mix it up a little bit more. Now next of all, I'm going to put my flour. Now with the flour, I'm going to use a sieve. It's always good to get a bit of air in there. Try not to do it right on the edge of the table like I am, otherwise you get flour on the floor. But anyway, let's just do it. I'm doing it from the height. That's it. It just gets a bit of air in the flour. Now we've got the flour all in the mix. What you want to do is add the baking powder, then the vanilla extract. Give it a mix or so, probably for a minute, maybe a couple of minutes if you're doing it by hand. Once it's all been mixed up, then all you've got to do is add the soured cream, get it all incorporated. Gonna get the soured cream in there. Right, I've got that cake mixture all done. I was probably whisking for a couple of minutes in total. Now we've got those blueberries, so I'm just going to put those in and mix it up. Just going to use a wooden spoon. Reminds me of making up the muffins, but anyway, if you like muffins, I've got a lovely muffin video. You can make chocolate banana and blueberry ones. Anyway, that's all mixed up. Look at that, lovely. And if you want to throw a few more in because you really like them, you know, you can always put a few more in, but don't go overboard with the fruit. Otherwise, you know, it might make it a bit too soggy. So there's all the mixture ready to go. Now what I'm going to do is get myself my cake tin, put a little bit of parchment paper, like non-stick paper at the bottom, and then we're just going to butter around the inside of the tin to make sure it doesn't stick. So I've got my baking tin. Now I quite like this one because the bottom comes out, so it's easy to get your cake out after. Now I've greased pretty much everywhere in the tin. I've also got this parchment paper. I put a little bit of butter on there as well. So put a bit of butter as sort of all round, and it stops your cake from sticking. Now all we've got to do next is really just to pour that cake mixture in. It's as simple as that. So I'll just get that all in and just give it a gentle squash down and put it in the oven. Squash it down a little bit. It's quite a thick sort of mixture, but just try and squash it down. I mean, sometimes you can kind of do that, which helps. That's it. Let me just give that a final going over. There you go. That'll do. So I've got the cake mixture all in the tin, ready to go. Now I'm going to put mine into a preheated oven, temperature wise 180 degrees Celsius, 350 Fahrenheit, gas mark 4. You probably want to be cooking for about 45 to 50 minutes. So I've been cooking that cake for pretty much about 45 minutes. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to stick my knife in, see if it comes out nice and clean. That's pretty much clean, so I'm going to pull that out. Now I'm going to put that on a wire rack, just leave it to cool down for 10 or 15 minutes, and then afterwards we can pop the false bottom out and put it on the wire rack until it really cools down, and then we're going to put that really nice sort of frosting on top. So put it on the wire rack, leave it until it's handleable. So I've got my cake and I've left mine for about 1.5 hours, and it's just about cooled down. Now don't worry about that little bit in the middle that's kind of sagged, because we'll cover that up when we put this frosting on top. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to move my cake aside, and we're going to get a bowl and make up this frosting mixture we're going to put on the top of the cake. I'm going to use the Philadelphia cheese, so let's just open it up. Now I'm going to use all that tub. That's it, put it in there. I'm going to use the icing sugar, put that in, and also that sour cream. Just put it all in there, and then what you can do is just, you know, mix that around really. So mix it all up until it's gone nice and creamy, just like a frosting. Don't do it too quick, otherwise it kind of goes everywhere, but just do it, get it all sort of incorporated. Look at that, looking delish. Oh yeah. That is going to be a lovely mixture to go on top of that cake. So let's put it out of the way, bring the cake back, and let's put this mixture on top. Now you really do need to make sure that your cake has gone nice and cold before you put this frosting on, because if you do it when it's hot, all that's going to happen is it's going to melt this topping and it's going to look a right old mess. So you really do need to wait and have some patience for the cake to cool down. Look at that, that is looking lovely. Yeah, just spread that around. That's the final little mix there. Oh yeah, delish. Now I'm going to serve this up on a plate. So lovely our topping. Let's put it on a plate, serve it up, and then we're going to put a little bit of fruit on top. Now I've put those all on top. I only just had enough to do it all. But look at that, that looks absolutely wonderful. Now it's ready to serve up, so let's cut a slice and taste it. Now I'm just going to cut a little bit of this. Oh, I think I'm going to go in there, look. Let's just go in there. And I think if we cut a little bit of triangle out there. Oh yes. Let me just lift up a piece of that. Oh, look at this. Look at that. That is delish. Delish. I'm just going to try that. Oh, I'll show you that. Nice and moist and delicious and that is so nice. That is really good. Really nice. Okay, a little bit more. Oh, that is fabulous. Absolutely fabulous. This cake is moist. It's not too sweet. It's delicious. It's got everything going for it. Go and make this. You'll love it. Absolutely love it. Look at this cake. Beautiful. Thanks for watching my videos. And if you like what I do, which I hope you do, don't forget to subscribe. Click the button. See you on the next video. All the best, the original Naked Chef. Delicious.